Mornings, everybody. So we're gonna do the morning message at 4:30 in the morning. Weird sleeping pattern last night. Anyways, so as I say in all of my videos, I am going through the same exact thing as everybody else, and these cards call to me as well because it's a reflection of what I say to other people, of myself. So pretty much, like, I tell everybody, like, whatever you're telling your best friend for help, there's something in there, or the whole entire thing that you're pretty much saying to yourself. Okay? So when I was pulling these cards, I understand exactly what they're trying to say. So I knew when to stop. Plus, you just know, like, you just have an intuition that, plus spirit is pretty much like, okay, you just have a feeling. Anyways, yesterday I was trying to do a reading, and it was about loneliness. Like, the main card was loneliness. And I'm like looking at the cards. I had to take a picture of it. I'm looking at the cards. I'm like, yeah, I know how to explain this. And I do. I still do. It's not like I don't. But no matter how many times I tried doing the video, it just wasn't letting me. And I just got fed up. And I was just like, you know what? Whatever. And went along the rest of my day. But I said, because it was a really good, like, a message that, like, really, I don't know why it wouldn't let me do it. So pretty much, I said, if loneliness came out in the morning message, then I would know that the other message is supposed to still be said, but not yesterday. Okay. I'm not comfortable in what I'm wearing right now. I've had this since I was in high school, so definitely not in high school anymore. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay. So, yeah, so I don't, like, I wasn't supposed to do the reading yesterday, of what it was. But I said if loneliness came out of this one, then I knew I was supposed to do the other one. I'm going to sneeze. What are you supposed to do? Like, tell yourself you're going to sneeze. Whatever. It went away, apparently. So, let's get ready. It's going to be fun. I just want to say that right now, because of where the planets are, getting out of Mercury retrograde, going direct, also Venus retrograde also went direct. We are from Gemini to Taurus. Taurus is from Venus. It is ruled by Venus, which is ruled by love. So a lot of relationships that weren't moving before, or were having problems, or relationships that were having problems that were supposed to come to an end. Okay. We're supposed to come to an end, but something was happening. Probably during Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde time, you know, it's gone. Leave it that way. If it is supposed to come back, it will, but only when you're in alignment with each other. So what I mean by that is, say you guys met and, you know, you were on the same page of who you knew you were, what, you know, you wanted, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, people change. They outgrow each other. So say one of you, you know, whatever, it's unbalanced. So you're with somebody that is now not compatible with you or aligned with you like they used to be. So that's usually when it's like, you know, whatever. But if you leave, it's like in the cards, but in a different way. So if, you know, you have the courage to be able to leave, it shows the universe that you want better for yourself. That's not what you want, and he'll, you know, give you better. It could be, you know, you were supposed to meet that person whenever you did, but there was growth that needed to happen, fears, insecurities, you know, abandonment, trust issues, feeling neglected, rejected, like, whatever it was, they needed to be healed in order to come back with that person. Like, maybe emotional regulating skills, emotional maturity, maturity in general, responsibility with money, a career, codependency, more independence, working on your purpose or finding your purpose, learning more about spirituality or connecting with God, or learning more about love, and compassion for other people. Maybe you guys are really, really actually wanting the same things, but you just needed to, the universe will bring you somebody. Again, it can be a twin flame. Will bring somebody into your life for a reason, right? And then just take them away, and then they're gone. And you can either, in a chaser runner dynamic, you would call it a twin flame thing. That's the thing. I feel like it's kind of the same, but it isn't at the same time. And it can be a karmic relationship, which is pretty much you guys were on the same page at one point. It could have been a really intense, sexual wise or whatever relationship. But somebody grew, like I said. A karma is pretty much something where you need to learn love by. So if you guys, you felt like you grew from it to be able to find actual true love, okay? So I hate using my ex for these videos, but it just happens. My ex, my son's father, was with him for 12 years, blah, blah, blah. That was my karmic relationship. I learned to love myself more in order to leave him. Other things happen, whatever. But when you're in a certain place where you love yourself and you've left the karma or karmic relationships, karmic cycles that are not healthy, that prevent you from a flow of love, like unforgiving or, out of balance, having those fears and recognitions of whatever. So there's so many things that can, feeling failure, judgment towards other people, your pride, worrying, it's all here, and it will explain it. But it's have you ever heard, I was talking to my friend about this the other day, you have those three loves. Obviously people can be no, I've had more than that. Not gonna argue with you on it, but it's you have that love when you're a kid or a teenager and you think you're in love, and you very well could be, you know what I mean? But when you actually find true love, or you find unconditional love for yourself, you're a kid, you know what I mean? It doesn't take away anything, you know what I mean? Just you realize it's a different kind of feeling. But when you're a kid, whatever, that's love to you, which is fine. And whatever, you guys break up, and then you usually go to a second relationship or a couple, but second, you might have a couple, but there's one in there that you actually love. So I had my high school sweetheart for 5.5 years. Then I had a shitty boyfriend. Yo, this is how bad trauma is, okay? This is ridiculous. So I had my high school sweetheart, right? I was with him for 5 years, and he started working at this ridiculous company, and people might even know of it, whatever. And the person that he was working with, because he'd have to go do kind of walkthroughs, when I was actively doing my cleaning business, you would have to do walkthroughs for seeing how an estimate was going to be, how long for their house, like all that. So they would do it for driveways. Okay. So the person that he would go with, like, he did drugs or whatever. So he did coke. I don't know what else he did, but I liked him. He was cool. But anyways, so my ex comes to me one day, and I was like just gonna be graduating high school soon, and he was already in college. And you know, like we had planned to have like, you know, a family and get married and all that, and it was like kind of talked about like when we got out of school. So like I knew it was coming, but like subconsciously I must have known it because I never thought like this. Like when we were talking about it or whatever, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm about to run. I'm gonna run as soon as like whatever. So he told me that he tried coke. He was just telling me, he was being honest with me. Like nobody else has been honest with me since then. Like, you know, they probably have, but you know what I mean? Like it was a healthy relationship. Not completely, but it was the healthiest one I ever had up in, you know, whatever. So I was like, all right, that's my escape. Okay. So broke up with him, went to somebody else, learned how to start cooking crack. I didn't do any of the drugs, but I learned a lot. I was living in a crack house. I was learning how to cook crack. I was dealing crack and cocaine. So I went from somebody who loved me, wanted to marry me, have kids with me, have a family, all that, wanted to support me, wanted to be there for me. He tried coke, was honest with me about it. Bam, let's go fucking date a crack dealer and sell coke. Yeah, good one, Bethany. So that's trauma for you. You know, things get too real and you're like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go get some chaos instead. This is too much. Like, it's too boring. But that's what people can do. Like, they're used to chaos. So it's like when things start getting like healthy, they're kind of like, yeah, nah, this doesn't feel right. And they go off and, you know, learn to live in a crack house when you lived in such a beautiful home before. It's crazy. And I used to have in-home therapy, severe in-home trauma therapy for me and my kid. And I asked her that, like the lady, and she was like, well, chaos attracts chaos. You were used to chaos. You grew up in a home of chaos. Like, you looked at relationships as chaos. So it's like, oh, baby boy, you're so beautiful. So it was like, okay, marriage looks normal. Family looks normal. Nah, we gotta get some chaos in here, because if that's what he wants, marriage, like, you look at your parents like marriage. When you're a kid, that's what you go by. Like, when you see marriage, you see how your parents are. So if they're not stable, you picture that's how it's supposed to be. So, you know, if you see your mom or your mom getting hit, or your dad getting hit, verbal abuse, you know what I mean? And that's what you look at relationships as. That's what you look at marriage as. Like, that's how you see it, unless some freaking miracle happens and you heal from it, like, before you freaking, you know, whatever. But anyways, so you could meet somebody who teaches you love, teaches you how to love yourself, gets you out of those cycles of thinking that's normal, gets you into those cycles, out of those cycles that are outdated. Like, you learn how to love yourself in order to have compassion and empathy and forgiveness and, you know, not judging yourself, having pride, being peace, like being able to look at a person and know that you're exactly them. There's no separation. We are all God's children. All of us. We are all made from God. We are all God's love. Like, God is love. We are love. We are God. We have the Holy Spirit within us. We are love. So when we come to this, planet or whatever, we are here to raise the vibration of love. So you have people that are awakening as light workers, healers, mystics, shamans, teachers. I don't know if I said that already, but there's star seeds and finding your galaxy and whatever, but you're here to learn how to love in order to raise the vibration. Okay? It's all about love. God is love. So it's like when you come into this world, you have the conditions from your parents, then you have society, then you have the environment around you, then you have school, then you have friends. They say the 5 friends that you are around, or the 5 people you're around the most, or who affect who you are. Those friendships, which is the first card, those friendships are there to teach you the lessons, and they can either stay or they're there for a season, a week. Like, they're there for a reason to teach you a lesson, and you already created this for yourself, because there's going to be lessons that you're going to want to learn. Your soul's going to want to learn, either because of past life karma that still needs to be cleared, and it's like you pick how you want to learn it. So when we have judgment on another person, right, we have to understand that nothing is really good or bad. It just is. It just is, okay? So I might not even have to tell the cards. I'll just tell what they say and whatever, we'll see, because this is like some of it. So, oh, baby boy, he's so beautiful. What is it saying? Judgment. Just because we're all the same, like I said, there's no separation, but people can look at each other as separate people, like they're not like us, they don't have problems like us. You're right, you might not have the same exact problems, but you could still have gone through something similar, or you do have the same exact problems, but nobody will be able to feel the same exact way as you would do about your problems. So you and your friend, or your friend could have had, a divorce and her husband cheated on her, and then she has a friend and years later the same thing happens. Like, they can learn from each other and teach each other, certain things. And how can you look at that as separation? But either way, it's about love, compassion, blessings, whatever, love and light. So you and that friend have something in common, right? But you'll never, ever have the same feelings and emotions about the same exact problem. You both could have gotten cheated on and have gotten divorced, but you will never feel what the other person feels about their situation. So never judge somebody for them doing good or bad, because it's not up to you how they learn their lessons. Everybody has free will, okay? We might pick our destiny, but we still have free will in order to get how we want to get there. We don't have we pick the people, pick the relationships, pick the careers, pick the situations we want to go through in order to learn our lessons, in order to get out of the conditions, outdated beliefs, into learning how to love ourselves, learning how to get out of those conditions and heal so we can help other people to heal. Watch this video not have anything to do with this, but it does with what I'm saying. So it helps us heal and whatever. I forgot what I was saying. They'll never feel the same feelings as you will. So you can't judge a person on how they choose to free willingly, whatever, learn that lesson, learn the lesson that they have on their path that they chose for themselves. You can't judge somebody on if they're doing their job, they're learning their lesson to love, you're supposed to show them compassion and help them with showing them the way to ascension, rather than being like, that's not how I would do it. Like, that's stupid. Like, why? No, you don't judge anybody for it because you're them. Like, whatever you judge a person in whatever they're doing, like, you need to look within yourself and see what it is you're judging that person for, and why, and what is it within yourself that you're judging that you're not being honest with yourself about. Could it be the good or bad way that they're doing it? Because that's not how you would do it. That's not how you would do it, but that's not on your path. That's on theirs. It could be on your path to learn that judgment within yourself from that person, but you can't judge them for being bad or good just because you're not familiar with it, or you wouldn't choose it to be that way. Okay? And then you have the pride, right? It's like our ego thinks that we're supposed to put people down so we feel inferior. We feel better about ourselves if we put people down. You know what I mean? So when you have pride, I love myself and I see everyone. I see, and I'm seeing myself in everyone. There's no separation. So it's like your pride is you thinking that you're better than somebody else if you don't look at it as everybody is equal. Everybody is the same when it comes to who is better than who. However you feel about yourself is how other people feel about themselves. Like, we're all here with fears and abandonment issues and feelings of not wanting to be hurt and neglected and rejected and sad and depressed, and we have these coping mechanisms that just don't work for us anymore, and they just need to be healed. Like, everybody has the same exact, think about it, everybody, you can't say that one person in this world does not have or has never had abandonment issues. They've never had a parent or friend or relationship like betray them, hurt them get hurt, you know, because we're responsible for our well-being and our you know, how we want to be treated, what we will tolerate, what we will let people do to us, how much we love ourselves to let another person or situation that we are in affect us. We choose what's good for us, and we choose what's bad for us, which it just is either you stay or you go, you tolerate or you know better, you learn, like, sign up, show up for your spiritual assignments. If you can see something in a different light, in a different perspective, you know, you can thank the universe for that. You know, do a little prayer, like, thank you, universe, for showing me this situation in a way of awareness, of love, rather than fear, and take away those rose-colored glasses. Like, something like that, you know? Perspective is everything. Perspective is what your reality is going to be. It's everything. Perspective is everything. It's how you look at the world, how you look at yourself, how you believe things to be, how you look at other people, how you believe people are. Like, is everybody out to get you? Is there no such thing as love? Is there's no such thing as good people? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, so that's what you're going to get. If you can have a perspective of the world is love, there are good people, there is healing, there's people awakening that are going to help us better the world. Like, those light workers do. They bring light to the people that are in the dark, that needs to be, you know, light bearers, beacon, like people that hold the torches, and, you know, people follow them. That's what light worker or starseed or crystal or any of those little people are for. I might just have this as a thing and then do this after. So there can be, we were given the ability to have empathy for other people and to learn how to have compassion for other people and learn that it's not all about us. People say you should help other people before you take care of yourself. I don't believe that. I really don't, because it's like, I think, if you're having, I always say, like, if you feel helpless, go help somebody else. Like, I believe in that. So, like, if you're feeling hopeless, go help somebody else that feels hopeless or helpless, because it's like, I don't know, it just feels good. And people could look at that as being selfish, and it's like, no, I didn't do that to make myself feel good. I did that because I made them feel good, which made me feel good. And you learn how to love from that and have compassion for another person and empathy and be able to not want to understand. I mean, you could not, but like the other person's side, like why they do the things they do. Like if you're somebody like me and you look at a person and you study them, even if you don't know their story, you can kind of tell even by their body language, like why they do the things they do, and it's not like in a sketchy, weird way. It's just you want to understand them because you care about them and you want to know what the next step might be. And I don't mean in a relationship with you and them, just in general, because it could be a pattern, it could be a cycle, and you could maybe help that person with getting out of a karmic cycle, so they learn love and get out of that cycle and leave that karmic partner, and then you find the third love, which is the true love, like, which is the one that shows you the love because you got out of the karmic cycle. You left the karmic partner that you don't resonate with anymore. Like you loved yourself enough to be like, dude, this is not for me. I don't get along with this person anymore. This is toxic. If you say somebody is toxic, what is toxic about you? Like everything you say about somebody else, that's you. Pride. You are the same. We're not separate. So when you say something bad about somebody, it just is. But humans look at it as bad because we judge people. I can honestly say that I don't judge people because I understand this, but at the same time, like I could say something and be like, I'm not judging them, I'm just saying like this is how it's presented, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm not saying whatever. But then it's like I look at certain things and I do get mad sometimes when somebody is not doing what I want them to do, because I feel like they should be doing it that way rather than the way they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, so what am I doing that I feel within I should be doing differently? And maybe I know that I should be doing it differently, but I'm just being stubborn. I am in moon sign of Aries. Like, that's about emotions. So imagine what the kind of emotions that Aries has, and that is me. Not all me, but yeah. And it's like it's how you want to present yourself to the world as well. Like, do you want to be your authentic self, or do you want to be somebody to fit in? Like, I say to people, if you want to be in a relationship and you think this is like the person, you know what I mean? You gotta be your authentic self. You gotta be your true self, because if you're fake and you're doing what they want you to be, one, you're gonna lose your own identity. Two, you're gonna be codependent. Three, you're gonna end up like not even, if you lose that person, you're going to lose yourself. That's how you're going to feel, right? So if you do that, it's like you're not even, you're taking on other people's like hobbies. You're taking on that person, like what they like. Like you don't know what you actually like. This can happen. It doesn't mean it's going to. It depends. But if you're being your true self, like obviously it's not going to happen. But it's about learning to be, when you're in a healthy relationship, it's learning how to be independent and have your own life separate from that person that you're in a relationship with. But you aren't jealous. You don't tell this person what they can and cannot do. You trust. You trust, surrender, which will give you freedom. Like no cluttered mind of, oh my God, what are they doing? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? That's your trauma that needs to be healed from other people. Unless you know that person, whatever. But from the freedom, you get gratitude and success, growth, can be able to look things from a lighter side, from their side, and then, death is here, but this is kind of the reading, but it could, be in the whole situation of, an ending is always a new beginning. So it's like, you can look at, and then you have adversity, which is challenges, and with relationships, purpose, so acceptance, balance, courage, abundance, patience, love, like peace, like this is a good reading. It is. And I don't think I'm going to actually do the reading. I think I'm actually going to have to do a separate one. But in a healthy relationship, you can have your own independency and be separate from, and also let your partner be separate as their own independency. It's not like you telling them they can't go to their friend's house, or they can't have a girl's night or a guy's night. You know what I mean? Like, when you have to trust, if you can't trust, there's trauma that needs to be healed. And that's what I mean from the beginning of the video. Maybe you met somebody and they were taken away from you. And it's like, because you had to heal those trust issues from other relationships and see this is a totally new person. You have to look at this person as a, first time meeting a new person, like with new eyes, like complete slate. It's a new canvas. We're all, we are all, it's like magnificent. We are all, I don't remember. It's like pretty much like we're all magnificent. I can't say it. We're all in process of, I don't know. Pretty much like nobody is perfect. Like we're all progressing as a better person, So healthy relationships are where you can trust and let that person have their independency. Let that person like different things that you don't like and not judge them, right? Not have pride and have to be right, and, never being able to take accountability for your own actions. It's like, it doesn't help you with love and peace, okay? It just brings up worry, like, unforgiveness. Like, and if you don't address something right away, you're going to end up having, harboring resentment that's going to block the flow of love, not only with that person, but in other areas of your life, because it bleeds in every area. And then, you build resentment for that person, and it's just karmic cycle, when you understand this and you can be aware of where in your life either you don't like how the turnout is, you don't like that kind of person that you are, you do things over and over and over again and don't get the same result. What is that called? Insanity? It's like you are dating and you're like, they're all the same, da da da. But why are they all the same? What is your cycle? What is your thinking, beliefs on dating, on men, on women? Are women all gold diggers? Are men all cheaters? Like, how do you look at it? Or can you look at there are good men in the world and there are loving, nurturing women that are independent, you know, like they don't need our money, they make their own money. And also people are intimidated by that because sometimes they can't handle an independent, strong woman, you know. But that's their own insecurities that they have to heal. You can't do that for them. But it's like, I don't know. I don't know if that's pretty much all I really need to say on this video. Hold on, let me think. I can say this real quick. If you love a person, you will make it work. You will be open and honest and have that communication and be able to be like, okay, you pissed me off, this is why, and they respond respectfully, and you figure out the situation or say sorry or take that other person's needs into consideration. Accept, radical acceptance, accept and embrace how things are, even if you, in your judgment, isn't how you want it to look like. Okay? If you can just embrace and accept how things are, you can have the awareness as well to see, one, you can't change another person. You have to change within yourself, and that person will mirror you and start healing or whatever on their own, and will change them. So you can't expect somebody else to change and you not change. Like, especially if like you want them to change but they're reacting to you in a certain way because you keep doing the same cycle over and over and over again. How do you think things aren't going to change? Like, are going to change? Like, you're not changing the cycle. Why would they? They're responding to the way you're acting, or vice versa. You know? You have to learn to accept the things you cannot change and be honest with yourself about it. Be honest with what isn't moving, what is stagnant, what needs to change within you or the other person. Because if you understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement, nothing's going to change. You have to be aware of the love, and that's the easiest thing. It's just the gateway to success. I think that's even here. Is it? Love, peace, success is above it. Yeah. I just want to say loneliness, feeling alone and feeling lonely, feeling alone and feeling lonely are two separate things. Okay? Alone is being like single, like one, like you're just alone, like you don't have anybody around you, but you're okay. Like, imagine like you doing a project and you're alone doing your own project, you know, rather than a group or whatever, like whatever the situation is, but it's one, right? You're alone doing your own thing. But you kind of choose that, you know, like if you want to be alone to do whatever and you don't want to go out with your friends at night, like, you know, loneliness is more like feeling abandoned. It's more like telling you you need to spend more time with yourself. Because if you're feeling abandoned as well, like, that's not loving yourself, and you're putting your feelings into that person or situation that is making you feel abandoned or less than or out in the cold or whatever. So if you feel lonely, that's the time to start focusing on yourself. Like I said, feeling alone and feeling lonely are two different things. Like, when you're alone, you don't have those feelings. Like, you accept being alone because you want to be alone. You're one, you know? But loneliness is like, you think of like lack of, or you think like you're rejected, you're being neglected, but it's like that you're doing that to yourself out of feeling that way, which isn't easy. I'm not going to be like, yeah, you do. No, I'm still working on abandonment issues. Like, and I have something good, just is. Like, I just have something that I can embrace for the time being. And let go, surrender, trust. Because it just frees my mind, and I don't have to think and have the chatter. And if I don't have the chatter, the creative ideas come in, and the downloads come in, and the guidance comes in, and the healing comes in, and the ideas come in, because you're from the universe, because you're not. And when you're alone, quietly, satisfied, don't need that instant gratification of not feeling abandoned by somebody else filling that void, you're happy. Like, you don't have that chatter of being worried, of feeling loss, of feeling pride, feeling like you failed at something. Because what is it? I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Failure. Just know that if something didn't work out, try a different way. But don't have a plan B when you already have a plan A, because it's kind of setting you up for failure already. Because if you already have a plan B, it's kind of like you don't believe that your plan A will work if you have to have, a backup plan. But feel the vibration and energy of appreciation and being thankful and grateful for what you already do have, what you already did have, and what you will have, and who you are. Embrace who you are as a person. Embrace the relationships that are going to help you with your purpose, with acceptance. And it brings balance and courage and leads you to abundance, right? But you have to have the patience and know that it comes in divine timing, and it starts within you. You can't just think that somebody's going to come and do the work for you. I mean, somebody can come and help you realize what needs to be healed. And that's what relationships and people are here to do, especially in twin flame relationships. But people are here so you learn the lesson that you want to learn from that person, because they're supposed to be there for a reason. They're your teacher, you're their student. You're their teacher, they're your student. Vice versa. Because whatever they're going to trigger in you, there's going to be something that you're there to trigger them. And that's why you came together. You also could have incarnated together and have already been with each other in a past life, and there's a karmic cycle, or there's a karma, whatever, that needs to be released, okay? For healing, acceptance, forgiving, whatever, to get to love. Help you with your path to love. You know what I mean? So, in grief, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. See? That's what I mean. Embrace the people that have helped you get to who you are now. Because what you've been through builds your character. And that's how you get your prayers, Just remember, though, all your thoughts, all your words, all your affirmations, your I ams, I am this, I am that, are the biggest affirmations that the universe will respond to. They will be like, oh yeah, you want to say that you're this? Okay. I'm going to give you stuff that makes you feel like this. I'm going to make you be who that is. No. You want to be who you want to be. You create that embodiment of that energy of, okay, I want to be happy. I choose to be happy. That's what I'm doing. I choose to be happy. So if something, situation, person does not make me happy and brings chatter to my brain, I don't want to deal with it. This is my life. This is my love. This is my purpose. These are my challenges. And you know what? It can just be as easy as releasing, transmuting, healing, feeling of gratitude, to love yourself enough to choose to be happy, no matter what. And it will bring, love and peace, right here, okay? I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Again, the chatter will be gone, okay? Surrendering to whatever it is that's supposed to happen, because if you can let go of your burdens, you won't have any worry, right? You won't have any worry where you have to learn how to be patient with yourself and discipline your mind to keep choosing to be happy and not fall into the trap, because it will give you happiness. Even if you feel like you messed up, will bring change and evolvement. It will help you evolve when you realize, no, I'm human. I made a mistake and that's it. I made a mistake and that's it. But what it says is trust in the universe. The universe always has your back. Trust in the universe, right? Surrender. It will bring you freedom from the chatter in your mind. You'll have those inspiring, creative thoughts, like your downloads, your guidance system, like your inner voice, your higher self, your guides, Freedom brings gratitude as well. It you know what I mean? Which brings success and growth. And it's easier to look at the lighter side of things. You can try to learn how to be more positive rather than negative. But again, you're choosing happiness. You're choosing positivity. You're choosing love for yourself. Because who wants to choose to suffer? People on this earth are addicted to suffering. Maybe you don't want to say it that way, but they rather suffer than choose to be happy, because it's scary being happy. Because if you lose something and it kills you, but you gotta understand, when you lose something, like a relationship, right? I've learned this. I have learned this. When you lose a person, you can actually see, once they're gone, either how grateful you are for finally leaving them, or the lessons that they taught you, or in appreciating that and appreciating the universe for helping you do that, and appreciating you loving yourself and wanting to be happy. Or you can appreciate that person in a loving way, in a compassionate way, in a way like, damn, I didn't know I cared about that person that much. I didn't know. Sometimes you lose something that you didn't realize how hard it was going to actually be to lose them. But again, They're either in your life to stay or go. And that's what we have to accept. And it will help you be stable, have the courage to walk towards abundance. But you gotta be patient. Love, peace, you know what I mean? Worrying, disciplining yourself so you are happy, Again, when you make a mistake, it just helps you change. It helps you grow. Acknowledging, resentment. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Sometimes we do white lies, they're just so they don't hurt people. But it's like being honest with yourself. Like, I can't lie. I really can't. Like, I feel so bad lying. So I don't really put myself in situations where I'm gonna feel bad and lie. I don't have to. Like, I don't have to. Because I didn't do anything wrong. But, again, you can be honest with yourself, even about judging another person because of your pride, which doesn't bring you happiness. You're, building yourself better than another person doesn't bring you happiness. And that's where the discipline of your mind comes in to stop the chatter, because there shouldn't be any chatter if you choose to be happy. If you choose the path of love, if you choose the path of trust, if you choose the path of peace, if you choose the path of empathy and compassion, I don't know if I already said that, and purpose. Gratitude and love are the biggest vibrations. If you can follow those vibrations and the freedom, surrender, all the adversities, all the monkey chatter, all the pain and suffering and, loss, like, don't look at it as light. Perspective is everything. You can either look at it as a lesson or a blessing. But I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality and be abundant. But you gotta believe. And the patience, is, if you already don't love yourself, the patience is being patient with yourself to, bring yourself to peace. Discipline your mind for happiness. Learn that people make mistakes. It will help you change and forgive. Be honest with yourself without judging people and your pride. If I was doing a normal reading, I'd like do Libra, Taurus, Scorpio. What was I just going to say? Aries, Leo, Aquarius, Gemini. Like, it honestly, like, the only ones that I really wouldn't put in here, I mean, they're really just all the signs. I feel like I wouldn't put Pisces, Cancer, and Virgo. I wouldn't put Capricorn in here either, but the only reason why I would is because it's hard for them to open up to love. And this is the path. They might be kind of prideful, but it comes from trauma, childhood, of not being able to open up, and they are hardworking and they are goal oriented. So again, a lot of judgment of what other people are doing because they don't think that's how you're supposed to do it, because they have goals that they're trying to reach in a different way. I'm just explaining that because Like, I don't see Pisces and Cancer in here just because of there's not a lot of emotions. There's not, you might not understand what I mean by that, but there's not. I don't even know if I have to really do a reading. Is there anything I didn't do? Friendship, I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Fear, I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Perseverance, keep going. Loneliness, you're not ever alone. You gotta trust to surrender, to feel freedom and be grateful for it in order to come to success, for growth. Be able to look at the lighter things of things. Like, if something is really horrible, you can try to still find a positive in it. Like, you went through it. You got through it. You got over, you got over the obstacles. You grew from it, In empathy with a person, you can see their point of view, why they did what they did, and just feel more loving and compassion and empathy, no judgment, love, forgiveness on a person that has hurt you. Because they hurt you. They hurt you because they've been hurt. Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people have been hurt the same way that they made you hurt before, so they think it's acceptable to be able to do. But that can bring the endings and beginnings to more challenges with more relationships that are bringing you to your purpose, right? Just accept. Make sure you ground and balance yourself through this. Have the courage to manifest. I do the Magician too, which is Gemini. If you can believe that there are no limits to anything, get out of the 3D world and going out of the matrix. Get out of the video game where somebody's controlling you. Don't live the reality of going with things that are happening to make it happen for you, and manifesting that you can manifest whatever you want. But that also comes with loving yourself. If you can love yourself and know that you're a part of the creation, the creator, God, you'll know that you're loved. What did Jesus do? He walked on water. You know what I mean? He freaking raised people from the dead. Like, and we still killed him. That's what I mean. But give yourself patience to work on that love, and don't be so hard on yourself that it will give you more peace of mind. Don't look at loss as loss. Take it as a challenge, not even a challenge, opportunity to be able to learn a different perspective of it, rather than thinking in loss and lack, or being scared of losing something, or losing money, losing a person, like abandonment, right? Worrying. You got to discipline your mind. What is it? I can accomplish what I set my mind to. Yeah, if you can discipline your mind and not like, oh, I'm disciplining, punishing. No, disciplining as in learning mental regulation, what's the word? Like just being able to have that mental control over your emotions, over you want to start waking up at 5 a.m. and going to work out. It's like, okay, 5 a.m. comes, what are you going to do? Press your snooze button and go back to bed? Or are you going to discipline yourself, make yourself get up even if you don't want to, and go fucking work out? Happiness, failure. If you press the snooze button, you got tomorrow to do it. Change. Oh, first person you gotta do is forgive yourself before you can really forgive other people, but that's not true at the same time. Be honest with yourself about who, what, why are you judging a certain person, and get away from your pride, because we are not separate from each other. We are all one. God made all of us to be here for a reason, which is to learn the purpose of whatever our passions are and make a career out of our passions for our purpose, to teach people love. So if you like doing something like this, make a YouTube video and help people with your experiences, what you've learned, what, like my passion is to help people, obviously. I like talking, I like talking with people, like having debates even. Like, I don't fight with people. I want to hear somebody's perspective, because maybe it will help me with mine. That is an outdated belief that will help me. Like, get out of a limited belief that's holding me back, So I like hearing other people's perspectives, so I can see if it will help me to be able to change mine, to help me within my life, so shit's not holding me back from love for myself. Destiny saying I can't do this. Why can't you do it? Why? If you literally are going to sit there and be like, I can't do it, why? What is your limited belief? Why can't you do it? Because there's nothing in this world that we cannot do. There is nothing in this world that we cannot create. You have a mind. You have a brain. It's the most powerful thing. And if you can have mental clarity and strengthen your discipline, your mind can create wonders, miracles. Praying, meditating to get those downloads, to get the guidance to your can'ts. But you gotta believe, even if you can't figure out a can from your can'ts, ask the universe and quiet your mind. 22. 1, 2, 22. Quiet your mind and listen. Sit with your emotions, so then be silent. Listen to your fan. Listen to the traffic outside. Listen to your breathing. Learn how to breathe. Because a lot of people can't take deep breaths. You extract or whatever your tummy. Breathe through your nose, out through your mouth. You breathe in light, you breathe out black, dark. That's what they say in a lot of meditations. Like, you breathe in love, gratitude, success, like letting go, surrendering, like, and then they're like, release the negativity and the crap and the stress and the anxiety, and or they'll do those, count to 8, hold for, or count to 4, hold for 8, breathe out forwards, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, hold on, okay, 4, 8, 4. So you can count for me. So, like, whatever. I've learned a lot of stuff, but one of my most favorite things I've ever learned, and I've only met one other person that knows about it, and his grandmother told him, is if you have insomnia, if you cannot sleep, if whatever, picture a TV with static. So I picture literally an old ass TV, like the screen with like the brown around it and the little tip, like whatever the thing that holds it up, not the legs, or maybe it is legs, I don't know. And then it has like the antennas, and then I picture static. And like, I fall asleep like a baby. It's crazy. I don't know why. I'm gonna look up the science behind it. Like, when I started doing that, I was like, oh my God, like, this is a miracle drug. Not drug, a miracle thought of undoing insomnia. But man, if you can just work, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Look how pretty that card is. The first part of learning from is your first root chakra, and it's red. Abundance. That's where you start. That's where your security and safety, like, you gotta learn. That's where it comes from. Like, that's your root chakra. That's where it all begins. That's like your inner child. Your root chakra is like your inner child. And if you don't heal that and balance it and release from it, learn and heal, it kind of screws up all the other chakras and they go imbalanced. So your next one would be your sacral, which is orange, which is all like your emotions, your femininity, your sexual life, your reproductive system, you know what I mean? Like, if you can't have babies or, you know, that, like, that's, you know, clean out your womb and heal it. And I can help with that. Like, it helps with clearing out negative energy that is blocking that fertility. Then you go to solar plexus, which is yellow, and it's all about you, who you want to be, courage, bravery, not having pride or ego, like, how you want to see yourself as a person, like, confidence. That's what I was trying to find. Like, confidence, self-esteem, all that. And then you go to your heart, which is green. Happiness, gratitude, humor, positive, lighter side, you know. And it's love, compassion, gratitude, acceptance. I would say acceptance. Positivity, perspective of positivity, of all good, all things that are good. They just are. So be it. What is the thing I say? Patience be still. It's in the Bible. Patience be still, or something like that. It always makes me feel better after I say it. It's like a relief of everything. Patience be still. Something like that. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Now it's gonna be stuck in my head. Then you have your throat chakra, which is speaking your truth, speaking who you are, speaking what you want to say, like, not holding back, you know. Then you have your third eye, your intuition, your guidance, your whatever. Do not have fluoride, because that will frig up. You'll have to decalcify, and if you don't know how to decalcify, it's just gonna build up freaking fluoride, and it's gonna block your intuition. And then you have your crown chakra, which is your spirituality, your connection to source, you know, to God, to love. I think this is gonna just be my reading, and whatever. Maybe I'll do the other one. It's not light out yet, so no, I've done it for like an hour. So it's like, has to be like 5:30, almost 6. And I have a birthday party to go to today, and I have to jump on trampolines and do flips, cartwheels, with my 4-year-old goddaughter for her birthday party. So I have to like dock and go through all these stupid obstacle courses, and I love it though. I love being a kid. Brings me happiness. But still being responsible. You have to have that balance between the two. You know, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment, right? Oh, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not bringing a relationship thing into this. I had some, and I was going to be like, okay, this is this, blah, 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 but I don't feel like it. I don't know what I'm going to do after this. It's like an ice storm yesterday, so it's like, I don't even know what it's like outside. And I gotta drive, so I gotta go get her a birthday present, actually. Alright, well, you guys have a good day. Hope you got something out of this. I did. Proud of myself. When you do stuff like this, you really learn what you've learned, or how far you've come. You know, from trying to help other people, you learn about yourself. And that's where the pride and the judgment also comes from. And when you're talking, you can see that there's more love and compassion for people and yourself. I don't know. It's cool. But like, if you want to make a YouTube video, like, channel, like, do it. If you want to go do whatever, do it. Listen, pray for it, ask and you shall receive. Just because it might not give in the way you want it to look, embrace it, accept it. Because if you can do that and not block the flow of you receiving rather than giving, because it's like, that's the point. Like, if you love yourself enough, you'll stop giving and you'll let yourself receive. And if it's not from other people, it's downloads, it's opportunities, it's miracles, it's blessings from the universe. You don't need it from other people. You don't need validation or reassurance or guidance by your external world, because your external world is your internal world. So all you have to do is change and have control over yourself, your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, your reactions. Discipline your mind. The universe will give it all to you. Just gotta sit and be quiet. And a lot of us don't like to do that because we don't want to feel feelings. We don't want to stop having our head be like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this. That just brings stress. You bring your past into your present. You bring your future of worry into your present. The only thing you have to enjoy is your present moment. And it goes by like that. So how do you want to use that time? How do you want to use that 1 second doing? You always gotta try to think like, if this was the last day that you knew you had, how, like, before you passed over, like, this was the only day you had before tomorrow. There was no tomorrow for you. What would you do? How would your day look? Would you make sure you told all the people that you never told that you love them? Or would it be like middle school and be like, I'm not going to tell that person that I have a crush on them because I'll be embarrassed? It's the last second. It's that 1 second in your present moment. After that, it's gone. Because you're in a different present moment. It's gone. Gone. It's a past. It's like That's why they say it's a new day. What are you going to do differently? If you do the same thing over and over and over again, it's a cycle. You got to do something different to see something different. You got to do something different and feel something different within yourself in order to see different. See changes. See new opportunities and situations and people and relationships. Healthier relationships. Healthier ways of dating. Healthier ways of communicating. Okay? You have to sit with your emotions. You have to sit with your thoughts. You have to listen to your thoughts to see if they're actually your thoughts or conditions from programs from your childhood, your growing up, your friends, your school, your teacher, the society, the environment you're in, because you might not actually believe. But you gotta listen to your thoughts, because if you don't listen to your thoughts, you're just gonna go with it like an autopilot, you know? So listen to your thoughts, let them pass by. If they're gonna make you unhappy and they're gonna ruin your harmony and peace, let them go by. Don't let them rent space in your mind. That's just clutter. It's clutter. And if you can't get the clutter out, you're gonna have no room and no space to let the better in. Chill. I hate when you do this. You know, get out with the old and with the new. Like, even think of, like, quotes. Like, money is root of all evil. Is it? Or you use it as love? Can you use it as a tool to get to your purpose of love? Or is it for materialistic things? Like, is it people that are all about money? Like, you have to have money to be successful. Like, no, you have to have love in order to be successful. You're not going to be successful unless you love, like, that feeling of love, you know, like, but, like, even, like, songs, man, subliminals. I don't know what it is with, like, praying sometimes and listening to gospels and listening to, you know, Christian music. Like, it's weird. It's like people think it's boring. But I do too. But I love God. Like, I'll listen to it and it's actually way catchier than it ever used to be when I was like 13 listening to it, because I used to be like really into like retreats, and that was my high school sweethearts, like family. Like, they were ushers. They were really into this certain church. So, and then I helped the Driveway people build a church, and it was like when they first opened, and it's so funny because of what it happened and how whatever now. So just have patience with yourself. And like I said, pay attention to the words you're saying. Is it loving words? Is it compassionate words? Or is it judging words and gossip and not being nice? You know? Like, can you use the time of feeling lonely to learn how to love yourself and not feel abandoned, but feel fulfilled within the learning and growing and fulfillment of you, embracing you, spending time with you, figuring out who you are as a person, figuring out what your abandonment triggers are. You're abandoning yourself of feeling abandoned rather than embrace yourself for the time that you have, the alone time, the quiet. Because that's when you learn about yourself. I love myself. I laugh at myself when I do dumb crap. I don't get mad and whatever. Like, I just sit there and laugh. Like, I just sit there and laugh. Like, I'll smack my head on something and I'm just like, of course. Why wouldn't I? Like, fuck it. I don't know. I laugh at myself all day long. I'm not like having like a bunch of different people, like things, like it's all me. I don't know, I'm funny. And I love myself, I really do. And I try to let as many beliefs unblock love from coming into my life. And I've learned that because I've chosen to be happy. I don't let bullshit into my life anymore that's gonna make the chatter and the clutter. It still happens, but I always gotta try to remember I have a higher power that can help me, strengthen me, and let me know I have nothing to worry about, and to trust and surrender and let somebody else take care of what I cannot control. It's not easy. And it's not like things will happen and I don't go back and forth and have that indecision. But at the same time, it's like, just embrace the moment. Like, because even though you might not understand it, it's obviously a reason. It's going to lead you to something. It's going to lead you to learning lessons of love. It's going to learn you lessons of patience. The more patience you have, the better it is to wait for your blessings and get those, because you're not blocking it from coming in. You're just being patient and embracing and enjoying the present moment without trying to rush anything. It's like people want to get to the destination, like instant gratification, like they want something right there and then, like that right there and then. But it's like, it's not about the end goal or whatever. It's about the journey. Like, embrace the journey, because if you don't, you're gonna miss things that could have been appreciated, that could have brought you into higher vibration, into realizing that you want all this. You know? That's sacral chakra. Growth and success. Like, being able to radically accept things the way they are. And you can always change it if you don't like it, and bring love into the situation and believe that you're worthy of receiving love, or just receiving in general rather than always have to be giving. Know that you're allowed to also receive blessings and miracles and presents and love and people, relationships, you know, like, you are a limitless being. You can have whatever the frig you want, but it's all mine. So what thoughts do you want to think? And if they don't serve you or help you and they block you, what do you have to change in the perspective to make that not be the case anymore? It really is easy when you know what to do, but it's the disciplining. But it's all about perspective. It's all about how you want to think as a person. It's all about what kind of person you want to be in your reality as your personality. Would you rather be at ease or disease, which is not at ease? So emotions is energy and motion. It's all energy. So if you can be in an energy of gratitude, an energy of success, already feeling successful, an energy of feeling patient, an energy of forgiveness within yourself, which will bleed into other relationships that need to be forgiven. Also, you can let go and transmute and heal. Are you in the energy of feeling abundant, knowing your worth, knowing your value, knowing that you don't need people's bullshit, knowing that you deserve to feel at peace, at harmony, to be happy, to feel free and liberated and not feel like you're under somebody else's control. Just have the courage, build the confidence, the self-esteem, saying no when you want to say no. It's stuff like that. It's hard for people to change. It's hard for people to understand that there are no can'ts. There are why can't I say it today? Limitless opportunities. Infinite opportunities. Infinite. There is a freaking ocean of opportunities that you can take from. Take. There's always enough. Government, whatever, says, oh, people are starving, All you have to do is make $100 or whatever dollar bill from a freaking tree. You're knocking them down anyways. There's an abundance. There's enough for everybody. Nobody can tell you there's not, unless you believe it. There's never not enough to go around for every person in this world. There's not, because it's abundant. We live in an abundant planet. We are abundant. Everything is limitless. Nothing is blocked from being able to get or want or have. It's all in your head. Do you believe you can't, or do you believe you can? Do you believe you can manifest what you want to come into your reality, or are you just going to go with whatever happens? Because I used to do that. Just whatever came at me, okay, whatever. Trauma became normal. The abnormal was normal. The fly and the spider was normal. If you know that analogy. I don't know, man. It's about perspective, beliefs, thinking you're limited, knowing your worth, knowing your value. You are loved. You're unconditionally loved. You are here for a purpose in this time. Yeah, believe it. What are you passionate about? It's not what are other people passionate about. In losing yourself in somebody else's identity. What do you like? What do you love? What are your passions? What make you happy? Who make you happy? And the happiness will make you find the gateway to your purpose. Like mine is doing this. Mine is kids. Mine is love. Mine is animals. Mine is dancing, music, singing. Like, it can be as simple as that. As long as you're happy living your life and not somebody else's, or them not controlling you to live whatever life they want you to live, as long as you're happy, you are on the right path to your purpose. If you are not happy, it's just a detour. Because when you realize what you don't want, you realize what you do want. And when you can realize what you do want, you get back on that path and get away from what you don't want. And it brings you back on your path of happiness, to your purpose, to the downloads, to the guidance. Ask your angels. They're always there to help you, but they will not interfere unless you give them permission every single day. It can't just be like, hey, I'll give you permission every day. No, you have to tell them every single day, and it's really annoying because sometimes you forget. And then when something happens and, like, it's just out of your control and you don't know what to do, and, we're not strong enough to do everything. Like, we can't do everything on our own. Like, we have to ask for help, and that's weird for us to do as humans, but you gotta learn in order to ask to receive. It's weird. It's weird. I'm gonna tell you, when you have to learn to ask even God for help. because he's the only one that can make shit happen. So you're like, okay, I can't do it. It's out of my control. Like, I don't have the strength to deal with all this. Here, take it, do it, whatever. I don't even remember why I said that, but being able to learn how to ask. It's like, do you want to have the monkey brain, or do you want to give it to a higher power that can make miracles happen? And the only reason I grew up being forced to go to church, okay? I went to church with my ex-boyfriend. I went to church whenever. Did all that. But I chose, and this might sound messed up, I chose on my own to believe in God, in the story, in whatever. I don't believe in certain things, but I still had that relationship of love from my creator, my father. I know that I'm safe. It doesn't mean I trust it all the time. I gotta remind myself, and then ask for guidance to healing. Or what will make me feel safe within myself. I can't have the external world make me feel safe. I feel safe within myself. And be able to rely on myself. Nobody else. Just me. What else? Is there anything else? Oh, what I was going to say. When I started seeing miracles, like you can't make this shit up kind of shit, that's when it's like, sweetheart, like, did you just see what happened? Like, did you just see that person levitated in freaking, like, Western part of the world or whatever that everybody's ignoring? Or like people like just heal themselves, like they have a leprosy, or they're in a wheelchair and all of a sudden they can freaking walk. From Joe Dispenza teaching you how to do mind shit to manifest healing. One of my favorite quotes is from Alan Watts, and it's, have an open mind to everything but get attached to nothing. If you get attached and don't have that open mind, you're limiting yourself as well. And it could be from another person's beliefs. Listen to your thoughts and think, is that my thought or somebody else's? Do I really believe in that? Or do I believe in this? But if you see your external reality changing, you know you're doing the inner work. If you see it getting worse, you ain't doing nothing. You're just letting your trauma get worse. Yeah. It all depends on you. How do you want to see your reality be? Don't be prideful. Be able to say sorry and take accountability. That's not love. If you can't do it, that's not love. Yeah. Challenges are opportunities to grow. And be patient with yourself. Be honest with yourself if it's not a healthy thing that you're doing. Change the cycle. Forgive yourself for it. Learn that it was a mistake, not if the cycle wasn't healthy for you. It was a mistake. You're human. It's okay. Appreciate the loss. Either if it's anything, it can be anything. It can be the thought of thinking something was going to be a certain way and it wasn't. It was a loss of the idea of a person being a certain way that you saw them to be, to find out that they weren't at all. Okay? It can be anything. It can be a person, a thought, a belief, anything. And if anything ends that you don't want to end, just trust that All endings are new beginnings. Have gratitude for it. You're never alone. Have no fear. People come into your life for a reason. You gotta understand that. So if a person comes into your life, study it. See why it could be a lesson to you. What are they triggering in you? What is it that they're doing that is mirroring you? And you guys can actually help each other, heal each other, figure it out. Communicate. Tell them. It doesn't have to be a love. It can be a friendship. It can be anything. You are worthy of a good life. You are worthy of happiness. But you got to believe in it. You got to believe in your own happiness. And be grateful for it. And it will just help you accept that you are abundant and you have the courage to do anything you put your heart's desire to. Okay. Just trust and surrender and keep freaking persevering. Don't stop. Don't ever stop. Don't ever give up. Rest, though. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm resting. I'm like, okay, I've done so much crap lately. Like, I'm done for a little bit. But I'm probably going to do shit today. But don't think that you always have to be doing something to not feel, to not have those thoughts of hurt and pain. Bring it up to the surface. Deal with it. Cry. Crying feels so good. I trigger myself. Like if it's a song I can listen to that will trigger me about what I need to heal from, oh, I'll do it. I will do it. Love crying. It's so funny. Like I'll be crying because I'll be healing about something, but I'll still be okay. And my kid, like he knows. Like he'll be like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, he'll be like, "Okay." Like he knows I'm okay. I just need to cry. It's so funny. And I tell him, I'm like, if I cry, I'm okay. Like, don't worry about it. Or if I'm in a really bad mood, I'll be like, I apologize already if I'm a bitch, and I apologize for anything I say. But I do watch what I say with certain things because I don't want to hurt him and I don't want to trigger him out of me being hurt over something. He doesn't deserve that. He didn't do shit. That's me. And I have to tell him sometimes, like, that had nothing to do with you. Like, it's me. It's in me. Or you triggered me. You acted like your father. Like, you know what I mean? Like, something like that. It's like, dude, like, yeah, that triggers within me. But, like, if it's a bad thing, it's like, but you just did this. But I reacted because of my inner wounds and trauma that has not been healed yet. And I already have some of that from my son. That's not fun. That I don't know how to take that stuff. I'm still trying to figure it out. But I know enough that if it shows up in other relationships, maybe it will be easier to see. And it's an opportunity to heal and communicate your feelings and learning how to be vulnerable. See, change, right? In order to learn how to change and not have the can't, you would do something so little as in put your leg in the other pant leg that you normally wouldn't do. We always have like a certain pant leg, kind of like we write with a certain hand. Like that's our hand. That's, you know what I mean? Like do little things like that differently. Like put on the other shoe first rather than the other one. And if you like put on one shoe and then you put on the other one rather than putting on one shoe and tying it, and then just do little things like that, and you'll see like you'll be able to do big changes. Make little decisions and you won't be indecisive when big decisions come. And also get the clutter and clean your house. Your house and the clutter actually represent and externally show you how cluttered your mind is. Yeah. Get rid of freaking crap. And if you have these, well, just in case, and I do this, but I've learned this, if you have those just in cases, throw it away. Especially if you haven't used it over like 5 years. You're just like, well, just in case, because you're making yourself also look like you need to hold on to that because of whatever reason, but your just in case is saying like, if you need it again, you won't be able to. Maybe because you're worried about money. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, if you find a freaking Furby and it's like like keep that, but I don't know. I'm just saying. We always end with baby boy. Wait, I don't have it. Baby boy. Baby boy. He's like, yeah, screw you, mommy. Right? Well, that was the end of my video. I hope you guys got something out of it. Have a good day.